So I have a message for Erika Kirk and TPUSA. It's too late. Secondly, Venezuela is about ready to see what's going to happen when we try to do regime change the hard way, and that's definitely coming. And then thirdly, I really want to mention this. Why is it that conservative commentators are so wrong with geopolitics? So wrong. Have they just gotten so out of touch because of, I don't know, whatever they've been doing for so long? This is why it's important to have smaller channels who have maybe a little bit more touch and control of what's going on actually in geopolitics. Welcome to the Ripple Effect. So to start off with, I'm actually going to talk about geopolitics and I'll jump into the Erika Kirk thing. So first of all, Venezuela, it's very obvious we are taking over. Even if we're not physically taking over, we're going to take the country over by doing regime change. I think everyone just needs to be prepared for that. Don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. Don't think, oh, I can't believe we're doing this. It's happening. And I think that some of the commentators on this one too, the politics on the right, are also getting it wrong. And I think we're missing the point. I don't think it matters. So their question that they're posing, rather, is whether this is legitimate and whether we should do this. And I don't think it matters. I honestly don't think it matters. I think we're at a time in politics right now where we can't play like we're sleeping anymore. And they're missing something. And this is kind of leads in my second point with the politics side of this is there are so many political commentators on the right that just kind of suck with geopolitics. They really do. And I think, again, everyone has their expertise. Everyone has areas where they're focused in. I've lived over in Russia. I've lived overseas. I understand a lot more of that kind of dynamic than maybe some other people do. And maybe I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. It's possible. But one of the things that I've been studying and looking into with China is China has its footholds everywhere. It's going everywhere. And everyone's looking at Venezuela as like this attack that Trump is doing and saying, well, Venezuela are we legally supposed to be there? Are we doing good things by being there? And all that stuff. And they're worried about the wrongest things. I always have everything going off whenever I'm doing these. They're worried about the wrong things. China is taking over the world. If we want freedom, then we have to understand that the only ones who can give freedom is America. Ask yourself if there's another country out there that you trust to give you freedom. Do you trust Germany? Do you trust France? Do you trust England? Do you trust Australia? Do you trust Canada? Who do you trust to give freedom? To keep freedom alive? Who do you trust? And the answer will be America. Even if you don't like it, and if you're a big lib, you have to understand that it's going to be America that will do it. Okay? And so if we're going to stay on top, if we're going to have the power to stay on top, then we have to fight China in all these little regional things to push them back. Because Venezuela right now is getting really, really cozy with China. And even though we're sanctioning their oil and we're doing all these things, they're pushing and they're getting all these natural resources. And finally, Trump woke up to the fact that we don't have the resources to do a lot of the stuff that he wants to do with all the chips and so on. And he's freaking out and saying, oh, well, we need all these minerals and all these kind of things that we don't have. Hello, this has been going on for a long time. China's been playing this game, playing us like a fiddle for a long time. Push back in Venezuela, get them out of there. If Colombia's getting tight and close with them, Monroe Doctrine, get them out of here. No one else gets to play in our hemisphere. This is our playground. No one gets to come in here. And that's where the commentators are missing. I don't care whether it's legal or not. It sounds crazy. I don't care. And the reason why I don't care is because it's the same reason why I didn't care when Obama was bombing terrorists. I don't care. Bad people are out there and need to be dealt with. Deal with it. Figure out a way. Figure out the loophole. Do whatever you need to make our country survive and the freedoms that we have to survive. Man, I got to turn these things off. But here's my point, okay, in finalizing this whole thing. They see Venezuela as a target for America, and I don't see it as the target for America. I see China as the target for America. And these same political commentators are talking about how we're getting cozy with Russia. As more information's come out, there's some debate as to whether or not Russia was even correct in pushing back against Ukraine. Now, do I think they should have invaded? No. But did they have a potential right to invade if Ukraine, one of their border countries, one of their countries that's a buffer between them and NATO, decides to join NATO? According to some of the treaties, yes. Do I like Putin? No, I think he's an actual garbage trash bag. But here's my point. Allowing Russia to save some face right now and bring them back into the world, which is what Trump's trying to do, and all the conservative podcasters out there are going, oh, I can't believe he's doing this. What is he playing footsie with Russia for? Now is the time to do it, okay? Right now, we have a choice. Continue and we completely destroy Russia, which Russia's already going on its way to China. We can't fight China. We can barely maybe fight China on our own. But you add Russia into that mix and we're fighting China and Russia and we're toast. and we're toast. And if we want to stay on top, we have to understand how to destroy all these alliances that have been built, right? We need to destroy those and tear those apart. And how we do that is by bringing Russia back into the world of normal. Okay, even though and allowing things like Europe is already working on trying to pull away from their finances and all that kind of stuff, and allows them to pull back, and we can get some pushback from them while still bringing them into society, into polite society again, allowing them to not be ostracized with China anymore and focus on China, which is our biggest danger. Apparently, there was some war games run, and it looks like if China decided to take Taiwan, we might not actually win in that fight. Now, I think some of the reasons, I don't know that I trust that, because there was a lot of war games back in the day against Russia, and they said we wouldn't be able to win. But then in all practicality, when you actually put our technology against theirs, we won. It was just, we kind of misunderstand their strengths because we base it off of kind of what we think of as our strengths as well. And, you know, comparable aircraft with aircraft. But I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole different ball game. But I don't think it's going to end the way they think. But we have to push back against China. We need to push China back into its into a tiny little box and keep it in that box. Close it down in Africa. Close it down in Europe. Close it down in South America. Close it down in Australia. Close it down in all those areas. Do not allow China to do anything. Period. Block China out. It's not about Venezuela. It's not about Colombia. It's not about any of these other places. It's about China. Put China back into where it needs to be. Okay. Cut it back. Cut off its feet. Just remove this ability to be a threat. And part of that is where Trump is making a mistake in giving the NVIDIA chips to China. No. Bad, Trump. Bad. We don't need to do that. What are you thinking? Okay? I'm being funny, obviously, but what are you thinking? The only advantage we have right now against China is our chip knowledge, our ability to use chips and have chips that are higher grade than China. Why are we giving that to them? Why? Don't do that. You're literally handing the keys of the kingdom to them, and you already know they have all the resources to use all that stuff. And then in my last note, and this is where I wanted to finish, this is my message to TPUSA and Erika Kirk. And I love you guys. I started this channel because of Charlie Kirk's death or assassination, and I'll continue to do it in honor of him and in honor of the beliefs that I hold in the Bible and the voice that he had and the voice that needs to be out there. I'll continue to do it. But here's something I want to tell you. It's too late. It's too late. You had every chance to come out against Candace and all the other nutcases out there. And now you waited, and now you're doing this big thing, but it won't matter. You've let Candace get momentum. And if I can say one thing, because it's too late already. It's too late already. A lot of podcasters, a lot of good people on the right have been pushing back against Candace, and you guys have been silent. Shame on you. Shame on you. Grow a backbone and fight back. We will have your back and continue to fight. And even though it's too late now to fight against Candace, keep going. Okay? And the next time something comes up, have the backbone to stand up and say something right away. Don't back down. Charlie charged. You guys are holding. Don't hold. Charge. That's what we need. That's how we can make an effect. TPUSA, you should know this. Erika Kirk, you should know this. That's how you win, is by pushing. And that's what Charlie did. That's what we need to do. And that's how we can grow channels sorry. Man, my phones are all blowing up. It's crazy. But that's how we can grow channels like mine, and we can grow the effect that we have out there. Now, I'm trying to do uncut, so that's why you get so many distractions and you get so many weird things, but I want you to get the unfiltered take from me. I don't want it to be some posh view and some posh whatever going on. Get the unfiltered take, and I appreciate everything that you guys do for me. Get this out there, spread the word, and like, comment, and subscribe. It helps tremendously. Thank you so much.